If you're not a senior level software developer right now, AI is coming to take your job. What's up, guys? I'm John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. And yes, I'm back, and we're going to be talking about what's going on in the software development market. I have spent some time doing some other things, but I'm really coming back to do some videos here on this channel and to talk about software development because there's a lot of exciting things happening. So here's the thing that you really have to understand, right? Right now, if you're a junior developer or a mid-level developer, that's great. It's awesome. You're probably having fun, probably having a good time, but you got to get yourself to a senior role. And let me tell you why, right? The biggest fear that you should have right now is that AI is going to automate away your job. And you might be in denial of this. You might say, no, it's not going to happen. But let me give you some statistics, okay, to think about here, right? So right now, 70% of repetitive coding tasks are expected to be automated by 2025, okay? Not only that, I just heard this really fascinating thing, which is that Google is now using AI for 25% of their code. And if you think about that, you got to really think about what's going on here, right? What's going on here is that senior level developers are utilizing AI to write this code. It's not just the code just being written by AI, right? Someone is directing that. And it's not junior, it's not mid-level developers, right? What it is that senior level developers that understand the bigger architecture and picture and can direct the AI to write that code, right? So for example, right, back in the day, before you had all these libraries built in, right? Back, I date myself, but when I was first learning C and C++, right? There were some obviously algorithms and whatnot, but a lot of times you had to write your own sorting algorithm, or you had to write your own algorithm to manipulate certain data structures. So those things didn't just exist. You wanted to reverse a list, you had to write an algorithm for that, or reverse a linked list, create a linked list, all those things, right? Now, none of those things exist. So what's happening now, what you're seeing now, is the next iteration of that, another higher level of programming. So if you're a developer right now, right, you're probably utilizing AI. If not, you should be, because you don't really need to write a lot of the code that you normally would have to write. You can just tell AI, I want this particular thing. And just like back in the day where you had to write a sort algorithm and now you have a library that does that, AI can write a lot of standard algorithms and functionality, but you still have to be able to integrate those pieces together, right? So it's really important that you seriously think about how to become a senior level developer. And I'm going to help you to do that in the coming weeks or so. I'm going to give you some information on this. We're going to talk about this, but I kind of want to make this video to see what the interest is from you guys about learning to become a senior developer, right? I did this myself. I wrote a great book called The Complete Software Developer Career Guide that talks about how to progress as a software developer. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on Amazon. It's got like 1,200 reviews on there. I've sold over 300,000 copies of this book. But the other thing to think about here, right, is that another statistic, companies are hiring for senior roles. The company hiring for senior roles is increasing by 30%, while the demand for junior roles is shrinking, right? So we can see this in the job market. If you're trying to get a junior or mid-level position, you'll find there's less of those and there's a lot more competition, right? But the senior level roles, that's actually expanding. There's more companies hiring for that. Why? Because they know, hey, we don't need people to write basic code. If we have senior developers, right, those senior developers can do the work of 5 developers because they can use AI, because they understand that. So there's a couple of implications that you have to think about here, right? So first of all, as a developer, you need to understand how to utilize AI to write code, right? You need to understand that. You need to understand AI. You don't necessarily have to be an AI developer. It's good to have some of those skills and to be able to integrate AI into platforms. Believe me, companies are looking for that as well, but you need to utilize AI to write code. That's an important skill set to have. And like I said, you've got to move yourself into these senior level roles where you're going to have the job security, right? I used to tell guys all the time, hey, if you want a good job, become a software developer, just go to a coding boot camp and pay the 10 grand or whatever it is, 15 grand, and you're going to get a 6-figure job if you work hard and But that's, I don't tell people that anymore because I don't think software development, like getting into it, is a great idea. Not now. It's a bloodbath, right? Like, unless you're going to come in as a senior developer, right? Which is pretty impossible to do. And also, the other thing about that is, like, think about this. If you need to learn how to become a developer, do you really need a coding bootcamp anymore? Do you even need YouTube tutorials? Can you not just utilize AI to ask questions and to figure out how to do things in the programming language and to test you on it? Like, there's so much stuff that you could do with that. So just think about that, right? So I'm curious on your feedback, right? Are you afraid of this? What's it like? Let's be honest here. What is the reality? Do you think that AI is going to take the junior and mid-level jobs? Do you think that it is critical to become a senior level developer? And when I say senior level developer, what am I talking about here, right? There are certain things that you need to understand, right? One of them, obviously, AI, right? But in order to get these jobs, also, you know it. You got to be on Leak Code. You know you got to get the data structures and algorithms and be able to pass those coding interviews, right? That's important, right? But you also need soft skills, right? I wrote a book on that as well because that's important, right? That's something that they're going to hire for. You need to know how to market and brand yourself. Do you have a blog or a website or YouTube channel? Do you have a GitHub repository? Do you have something, at least a Medium account, something where you're publishing where, when I've hired for senior developer positions, one of the requirements, and especially some of the big corporations I've worked at, was that you had to have an impact outside of your organization. That's what made you a senior level person. And so have you done that? Right? There's a list of things that you need to accomplish and do in order to become a senior level developer, right? And if you do these things, then you can put yourself out there, you can market yourself as that, and you can get one of these roles. But it's absolutely critical, right? If you're not doing this right now, and you're not on this path, and you think you're just fine at the job that you're at now, you're mistaken, because AI is coming in. It's going to come really, really quickly, and it's already taking these jobs. So you need to position yourself. So let me know, what do you think about this? Leave a comment down below. And there's going to be some videos coming out where I'm going to talk about this, give you some solutions. I don't want to just give you problems, but I want to help you out. And I've seen that this is a problem. That's why I'm going to be solving this problem. So stay tuned, and more to come.